Welcome back to Cooking with Cleavage. Tonight we're gonna do, I'm gonna show y'all how to barbecue. I know it's not my favorite thing to do and I know guys love to do it. So I'm actually trying to learn myself, okay? So here are the coals that are in the fire pit. They're not quick light, so you wanna use some charcoal lighter, and you don't wanna eat charcoal lighter. So what you do is you spray it in there and then you light it. Right? And then you gotta let that burn off. So you give it about 20 minutes to just burn off. It's gonna actually get the coals really hot. And the reason why you put one side is how I learned, one side coals and one side not, charcoal and one side not, is to give you a side that isn't extremely hot in case you need to take something off and give it a slow cook on one side. All right, and then I'm gonna show y'all what to do after 20 minutes, so stay tuned. Hello, and welcome back. I thought that while the coals are getting hot, I could teach y'all how to make a margarita, because I feel like having a drink, because I got all hot out there. So I have some tequila here, I have some fresh lime juice, I have some fresh orange juice, which you just need a little bit of, and I made some simple syrup. Now, you've heard of simple syrup. You might even gone out and paid for your own simple syrup that somebody made for you. All it is equal parts sugar to water. You heat up the water enough to dissolve the sugar, and you boil it enough to make a syrup. As you could tell, that's not clear. That's actually a syrup. I boiled this for about 5 minutes. If you boil it for too long, it will turn to candy, so make sure you watch it though, okay? So what I did is I got a couple of glasses, and I used a plate of salt. What you do is you get the rim wet. I usually use lime. I just kind of run the lime along the rim, and that'll give you enough wetness to stick the salt to the rim. I filled it with ice, and then I have some ice in my shaker here. So I'm gonna make each one individually. So the tequila, you get 3 counts, 1, 2, 3. And the Grand Marnier, you get 2, 1, 2. And then you get a little bit of simple syrup because you're using fresh juice. You use lime, and then you use a little touch of orange juice. And then you shake that up. Let's see, because I usually do this in a pint glass, so let's see if my measurements are right. And then you just strain it over the ice. Hopefully it doesn't come up short. Oh, that's almost perfect. You just do it again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Ooh, might be a little heavy on Grand Marnier. Then you do a little lime. A little touch of orange juice. A little bit of simple syrup. That's how you make your, your sour mix that people talk about. Oh, sour mix. The store-bought sour mix is so sweet, and God knows what else is in there. So really, you just need to squeeze some fresh lime juice and add some simple syrup to it. That is the only thing. There's some recipes for simple syrup will call for lemon juice. If you like that, use lemon and lime. I've done that before, and it comes out good too. So really, it's just all your preference, you know. You might like a little bit more Grand Marnier, but the recipe does call for 3 to 2. 3 tequila to 2. All right. And now, you want to toast with me?
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers. I'm really going to enjoy drinking that while we finish cooking. I'll be right back, okay? Hey, so what I did is I brined some chicken legs, okay? Now, the brine that I use is 5 cups of water, a 1/3 cup of salt, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. I've been using some pure cane sugar syrup that my friend and his family make in their farm. So I didn't actually measure because it was like, you know, when honey at the bottom, it gets really coagulated. I'd have to get it out with a knife. So instead of measuring it, I just put some of the hot water in there and got as much of it as I could out. So I don't know if it's exactly 2 tablespoons, but it doesn't matter. The sugar is going to help get some crispness on the outside of your chicken leg. And the salt is actually going to help. You know, a lot of people brine things, meats that are gamey or need to be tenderized. And when I asked my sister what kind of brine she and her husband used, she was like, you don't need to brine chicken legs. But I thought, if it's so good in other meats, how could it not be so good in chicken legs? So I started doing it, and I think it's amazing. And I did it as for some friends recently, and I even got some chicken breast. It was just chicken breast pieces, and I did it for that too, and it came out amazing. I didn't think the thighs came out as good, but maybe that was just circumstance. I don't know. I can't imagine how it wouldn't be good. A lot of times when I mess with raw chicken, I do use a glove. I decided not to do that just to make this really quick tonight. And a lot of people believe in rinsing raw meat. When I brine it though, it's pretty much getting rinsed by the water. And you boil the water to get it hot enough, or hot enough to dissolve the salt. So I don't see any reason why it needs to be rinsed as well. And you have to be really careful with while you're rinsing raw meat, because it's kind of dangerous to just be putting raw meat all over your sink, and if you're not going to clean it up right away. So I just want to make that. So all you want to do here is just get these chicken legs all dry. Some people just think, I've seen it done where you just put it straight from the brine onto the grill, and that's fine. But they do say that it gets crispier if you dry it all the way. So I don't know if that's true. I've tried it both ways, and they're both really good. So whatever you prefer. All right, we'll be back. Hey, welcome back. So we're obviously trying to beat the light. I'm just going to show y'all. I did add some fresh rosemary to the top of the chicken legs. Whoa. You might want to make sure they're crossing the grill. And the way I was taught is that you turn the chicken every 12 minutes. And the chicken is done when you start seeing clear liquid come out of the chicken instead of bloody. Is that too close?
Perfect.
See, I'm learning, so y'all can learn with me, you know? Because I always thought, why should I do the grilling if I'm doing all the prepping? But it's nice to know how to do it, you know? Okay, so that gets all the chicken on there. You could do more than that. Like I said, I forgot the rosemary in the brine for the chicken, so I'm putting it on top. But if you can remember it when you do your brine, put some fresh rosemary twigs in there, whatever it's called, a twig or whatever. And it really makes a difference in your brine. You can really taste it throughout. But I'm just putting some rosemary on top, and hopefully we'll taste it. Okay?
Right, here we go.
Okay, now we have a little more light because we moved a bit. And as you see, the coals are still inflamed. So you really don't want to keep it on for 12 minutes unless the coals are just embering or whatever the hell it's called. But anyway, when you do turn the chicken, you might want to, you see how nice and dark it's getting on one side? You might want to pull it to the other side, kind of away from the flames. So that way, see how nice that looks on that side? But that way it's close, but it's not directly over these flames, because that will cook your chicken too quickly, which will make it too tough. The best way to get tender chicken is to not overcook it and not to cook it too quickly. Ooh, it's really hot. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you how to do, we want something to pair with this chicken, right? So I julienne some zucchini to make it easy to put on the grill. Of course, it would be easier to do this with a mandolin, if any of y'all have a mandolin. And I'm not going to put it directly on the fire either. I'm kind of going to put it on the side. And I just have, that's the only thing I have these in is olive oil, because I can salt them when they're on the grill. Just gonna put it on the side like that. These are gonna cook really quickly because they're zucchini and the coals are really hot. Should have brought a paper towel out here. Thank you. And then what you do is you just put salt on. I'm just gonna have to. Okay, so then what you want to do is just lightly salt all of your zucchini because they're not seasoned with anything, and you can use whatever you want. You can use, Tony Chachere's if you want. I do that sometimes. You can marinate it in something else before you put it on the grill. It's totally up to you. But I thought it would be fun, and I want to put a little bit more rosemary on top of this chicken. Rosemary strong. Okay. I'm going to teach y'all how to make cebollitas. I've gotten it in Mexican restaurants, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's so delicious. I wonder how to make this. And I ran into a woman who was Latina, and she told me to just take the green onions, put them directly on the grill like this. Put them directly on the grill. Like I said, I marinated them in olive oil just to kind of give them something to marinate them in before I put it on the grill. Now, like I said, these are gonna, about the zucchini, these are gonna cook really quickly too. But while you're cooking them, I cut up some lime. You just take some lime and you squeeze it on there. You squeeze it on there as it's on the grill, right? And then you take the salt, and what she told me, her advice was, you're gonna think you put enough lime and you think you put enough salt, keep on going. That's all you do, is you put a bunch of salt on it and lime juice, and then you turn them. And then you do the same thing. I like to, when I'm doing it, actually, as you can tell, I actually cut the green onions. I slice them long ways, right? Because I think it's so good when it's like that. And it gives the head of the green onion more chance to actually get soft. Oh, and it's so good when it's just really soft and it melts in your mouth. Oh, so good. And then more salt. And then at this point, I think I'm gonna turn the zucchini. Let's see. Oh yeah, you see that color on there? And you see how it's actually a little limp? You might wanna turn these around, right? Get the other side some of that fire. This is why I don't like to grill. Smoke in the eyes. Like, if guys like to do this, let them do it. But it's nice to know how to do it. In case you're like stranded in a beach resort without a guy, barbecue pit that you want to grill some really nice salmon you just caught or something. I don't know. Okay, so that looks like it's cooking really nicely. We have these. Oh, we need to move those. Might have to put these over on this side. Because it doesn't like that I just put a bunch of juice in it, I think. It's all falling down in there. So you just, like you're seeing, it just gets really nice and limp. And you just keep putting lime and salt. I'm gonna do some salt right now. And some lime. There you go. All right. Maybe it's time to check the chicken out. Oh, that's nice. Looks like it's, then you touch it, you see. Oh. If you put the spatula on it, the tongs on it, is the juice not? It's getting close, y'all. And what you do the last 5 minutes before they're ready, you can put barbecue sauce on this. I did not make my own barbecue sauce tonight. It's just really easy to go to the store and buy whatever brand you like. But you can also look up some homemade barbecue sauce recipes. It's not that hard to make. It's just, from what I remember last time I made barbecue sauce, it's just ketchup and Worcestershire sauce and some people put onions, some people put sugar. It's just really what you want, what you like. Some people put a lot of hot, pepper and stuff in it. So, I'm just going to get over here. I'm going to get over here. This, I think, this little guy hasn't gotten enough. And these are getting a little too much. Wow, that's really cooking nicely. You see how they're starting to get flimsy? You don't want them to get too flimsy, so you could start taking them off, which I might start doing soon for some of these. That one's... Whoop, there goes part of a zucchini. And then I'm going to do one more douse of fresh lime. And salt. All right, and I'm going to start taking some zucchini off of here. Okay, so I'm going to start taking off some of these zucchinis. That's a little limp. That looks like she's ready. Call her she, like, like men call their boats. The zucchini, it can be our girl for the night. Of course, the chicken is the man. Get it? Chicken? Haha. Just kidding. Okay, so this one looks like it needs a little bit more. Oh, no, that one looks pretty good. You don't want to be too done. I don't know. I'm like my mother's daughter, so she always cooked vegetables, as the Italians call pasta al dente. It wasn't all the way cooked because she thought that if you cook it too much, it cooks all the nutrients out. I don't know if that's true, but I actually like my vegetables that when they're not mush. So I think a lot of kids who grow up not liking vegetables, I think the reason why is they had, too many canned vegetables. They know what the vegetables are from the can, and the canned vegetables are always too mushy. Never liked the canned vegetables. And some people will disagree with me. They still like certain canned vegetables. I don't like the canned vegetables. I like everything fresh. And these look really good too. I think we can take those off soon. I think we can salt it a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. I haven't made these in a while, but I'm just going by my memory of when she said, just keep putting salt and lime juice on it. You're going to think you've done enough. Just keep doing it. You want to cook it until it's just a big glob of, looks like nothing, but it'll melt in your mouth, I promise you. Okay. So I think we can flip the chicken one more time. No? Take these off first. Okay. I think we can flip these one more time. It's, the grill is just so easy, and you can actually like prep it ahead of time and then grill it, and just the flavor of the charcoals and everything, it makes everything taste so good. Okay, I think that's good. It might not be all the way. I don't know. And then I'm going to put the chicken back on the fire. On the direct heat. They'll try to run away from you. I prefer chicken legs. That's my cut of chicken. But if you like breasts, like I said, I've tried the breast before and like this with the brining, and it made me like chicken breast. because usually the only time I really eat chicken breast is when I can pane it, is what we call it in New Orleans. Where you pound it like a Milanese in Italian, where you pound it out and you coat it in breadcrumbs and then you fry it in a pan. You pan fry it. All right, I think these are going to be good. Otherwise, they're going to start falling through the... And some of the actual tips might not be, all the way cooked, but it'll be good in anything you put it in. And then I'm going to come back with some barbecue sauce for the chicken. Okay, it's barbecue sauce time. We've been cooking these for about 45 minutes. Some of them are taking a little bit longer because they're bigger legs. And if you go down, look down at the grill right there, you see the clear liquid that's coming out of these drumsticks, and that's clear. That means it's ready. It doesn't have any pink liquid coming out of it. Now, I think the best way to do, and most people will tell you, put barbecue sauce on chicken is to use a brush like this, a barbecue brush. But I've seen people who don't have a brush and just like spoon it on or pour it on with the, from the jar or whatever, which will work, but this is going to make it more even. And just make sure you get all... And some people don't even like barbecue sauce. So if you don't like barbecue sauce, just take them off after you're done cooking them, and they'll be fine. You don't need to put barbecue sauce. I think this is the perfect amount, though. One time I tried turning them and putting barbecue sauce on the other side, and it was just a little too much, or can't remember if I did that or I let this harden and then put it on again. It was a little bit too much barbecue sauce, because I think barbecue sauce is really good while it's, when it gets nice and like caramelized from the grill. And you just want to put enough so that it'll penetrate, like the brine should have done. The brine should have penetrated your chicken. This is more coating it. But I think penetrate is a great word to describe what the brine does. And if you put rosemary in the brine, like I said, boy, that will penetrate the meat more than just putting it on top. But you'll still get a flavor of the rosemary if you just put it on top. You see how nice that all looks? Now you let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to take it off. So this is our delicious meal that comes from Cooking with Cleavage today. Cebollitas. Oh my goodness, look how delicious that looks. Watch. Oh my goodness. It's so juicy and moist. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna try the zucchini. This was the one I thought might not be. You see how tender it is? It's gonna melt in my mouth. Perfect. And then this is the chicken. Let's try one of these. Need a sip of margarita. This margarita, by the way, perfect drink to make while I was grilling. So glad I thought of it. It's delicious. Almost done with it. Yum. This chicken, if you notice when you cut into chicken that's done like this, you see that nice pink color that's on the chicken right there? That's done. It's a nice pink color. You get close on that too. So good. I can definitely taste that the brine and the rosemary both penetrated the chicken perfectly. So, well, I hate to leave you on a full mouth like this, but I have some more eating to do. I hope you enjoyed everything. If you have any questions, just ask it in the comments. I'll put the brine recipe. It's really easy. Like I said, 5 cups of water, 1/3 of cup of salt, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. But if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll put that in the comments, okay? So you have yourselves a great rest of your evening, and I'll see y'all soon.